Listen.
So you've decided to take the hard road and call yourself a professional artist. And that can mean anything. You could be a writer, a painter, photographer, filmmaker, any of the above. And what you're trying to figure out now is, what do I charge for my work? What do I charge for paintings? You know, that's really the easy part of the whole process. You can't just pull numbers out of the sky to price your artwork. Well, you can, but it's not going to work for you. I think figuring out what you should charge for your work is a little too complicated because we think about it too much. It comes down to, what are you worth? Not what is the painting worth, or what is your artwork worth? You can't really look around at your peers either and say, well, my work is as good as theirs, I'll just charge what they charge. You're leaving out the fact that they've done their due diligence over the years. They've worked hard to build an audience and people that believe in what they do and love them as people, as artists. If you're just starting out, you've got tons of time on your hands to be passionate and go at it every day and tackle the challenges of learning and growing and creating. But when you become a professional artist, you don't have as much time on your hands. Your time has to be more valuable. And the answer to that comes down to this. I mean, do you have a successful job? Are you doing other things successfully? What are you worth professionally right now? You know, when I started my career as a professional photographer, my first step of my artistic journey, I worked cleaning the floors of a restaurant at night so that I could keep the studio doors open during the day and work on that dream, that passion of mine. Your work is worth what you are worth. So figure out your cost, figure out what it takes for you to deliver this product, figure out what your hourly wage would be in your other job, and get started. So I was making just above minimum wage at the time, and pulling a mattress out to sleep on it at night in the dark room because I just didn't have the finances to do everything except chase my dream. And what happens is something called supply and demand. At some point, if you are successful with what you do, you start to be so busy that you have to charge more for your work. That's what starts to shift. Once you start building up a client base, a following, people start purchasing your work or hiring you to create films or photographs, that's when your time starts to become more valuable as an artist. And that's when the price of your work starts to increase. And you have to determine, what are you valued at each point in your career. And now, for instance, in photography, I have to decide, am I going to only do photography and be a photographer, or am I going to create paintings as well? You can't go into museums and galleries and look around and say, well, how can that even be art? It's all blue, there's no contrast, there's not even any thought in that. As you become even more popular and more successful, then your work has to take on a greater price tag, because simply put, there's just not enough hours in the day to create, run a business, pay the bills, and do everything else that goes into being a professional artist. Supply and demand. My paintings have to be worth as much as my photographic services, because that's how in demand I am as an artist. There's only one of these in the world. You know, there are only so many paintings one can produce in a year, in a lifetime. And so now that you've got that figured out, go out and continue chasing that passion. Get up each day, create something every day, make something every day. And in time, that network will build, and you will be the artist you always dreamed of.
Listen.